I have two questions in here, two sheets of paper. First question, I have two questions, it says. In the main gracious hall, there are 4 paintings of the Arahats. Were they Buddha's first disciples? No, they were not the Buddha's first disciples. The Buddha's first disciples were at the Varanasi, at the park, where he turned the wheels of the Dharma. The 4 ascetics who stayed with him, with the Buddha, before the Buddha got enlightened. The Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, the ascetic practitioner, practiced asceticism with 4 other people, with 4 other monks, we'll call it this way. We can call them monks. And then somehow Siddhartha Gautama, the practitioner, thought that taking the practice of asceticism is not the ultimate way to go. So he left the 4 persons, went into the woods to further his meditation and enlightenment, and then he became successful in getting nirvana. So he returned back to the forest and talked to these 4 ascetics, and after talking to them, they believed that the Buddha was enlightened, so they became the first disciples. Those were the 4 first disciples. The Arahats, they were not the 4 first disciples. Those Arahats there are 16 Arahats. These 16 Arahats were Arahats written in the Amitabha Sutra. In the beginning of Amitabha Sutra, there were 16 Arahats. These were the 16 Arahats. The Buddha was talking to a lot of people, at least 1,250 people, usually in a congregation, usually at least 1,250. But sometimes there may be heavenly people coming down from heavens, or demons even, or any kind of spirits can come to the congregation. So the Buddha talked to 1,200 people, 1,250 people at least. And then when the Buddha was talking about Amitabha, these 16 Arahats were there. So these were the 16 Arahats who attended the Buddha's lecture in talking about the Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha. Okay, that answers the question. Can one say the essence of Buddhism is wisdom? Depends on what you mean by essence and wisdom. But if I just look at it from a general understanding of the definition of essence and wisdom, I would say that wisdom is not the destination. Wisdom is the tools. Wisdom is the ship that takes you from the shore of confusion, the shore of mental afflictions, to the shore of nirvana. You need the ship to go from this shore of sentient beings, of reincarnations, of sufferings, to that shore of eternity. And we call it eternity, but even eternity, the word eternity, it's a misnomer. It's not really. If there is an eternity, there must be a lack of eternity. There must be an uneternity. So, but for the sake of saying, going to that shore of enlightenment, of nirvana, you need that ship. That ship is wisdom. Wisdom is not the objective in itself, per se. But you need the wisdom to go. You need wisdom to go from this shore to that shore, like a ship from this shore to that shore. But once you reach the other shore, the shore of enlightenment, you have to let go of even your wisdom. You have to let go. In your ordinary practice, you have to learn to let go. Let go of your anger, let go of your depression, let go of your passion, let go of your jealousy, your hatred, your fear. You let go of all that, and it's very difficult to let go of all that because those were your habitual thinking. You have been habitually thinking like that for many, many rebirths, and it's very, very strong in your consciousness. It carries as a karmic energy from one life to the next life with that. So it's very difficult to change. So you need the wisdom to transform all these. First of all, you have to transform your consciousness into wisdom. Then, in the process of transforming your consciousness into wisdom, you have to learn the Buddhist teaching, the practice. And as you transform your consciousness, your wisdom level is increasing. Wisdom does not come just bang and then one-time deal. Your wisdom, all of a sudden you have that wisdom. Wisdom comes gradually. Wisdom comes into a series, a continuum of small little enlightenment each time. Like for example, today, when you were listening to someone talking about impermanence, then all of a sudden you know that you should not attach to permanence. Nothing is permanent. Everything is fleeting. So you should let go of your greediness. Then that little wisdom you have increased today because you can let go of your greediness, or you can let go of your excessive desire for sensuality. So you know that that's a karmic energy that pulls our sentient beings to this world, this karma world. Then slowly you let go. Whenever you let go of the ego, you're increasing your wisdom level. It's just like you have been overcoated with all these mental afflictions. And then every time you let go, you take one coat off. You peel one skin off, the skin of jealousy. You peeled it off already. You throw it away. You can let go of jealousy. You won't be jealous anymore of people's riches, of people's fame and reputation. You don't look out. You don't look for those. You peel off the coat of jealousy. You peel off the coat of depression. You peel off the coat of anger. So you're slowly letting go of all this overcoating of mental afflictions on you. And that's every time when you peel off that layer, you attain an increase in wisdom. So the whole series of wisdom increasing. But once the wisdom has taken you to a point that you reach nirvana, do you still attach to the wisdom? The wisdom is just a tool. Once you get onto Victoria, you're still attached to the ship. There's an announcement saying everybody has to go on shore, and you have to go. You don't attach to the ship. You don't attach to wisdom anymore. That's the reason why wisdom is not the ultimate wisdom. Wisdom is just a tool. So how should I tell you? Your question is, can one say that the essence of Buddhism is wisdom? I say yes, it's wisdom. But I say no, don't attach to wisdom. Once you attain to a certain stage, you don't attach to wisdom anymore. So what is Buddhism? It's not Buddhism. That's why it is called Buddhism. You know what I mean? Yeah. If Buddha said, listen to my Buddhism, it's the ultimate of all things. It is the top, uncomparable. Listen to me. I'm the master of this Buddhism. There must be a problem. Buddha attached to Buddhism. But you can say, I don't want to attach to anything. I can kill, I can steal, I can do whatever I want. I don't have an ethic. I can do what I want. Then you are in further trouble. Then you believe, then you go down to inferno. You have more suffering. So I don't know if you know what I mean. What is Buddhism? It's not Buddhism. That's why it is called Buddhism. What is called God is not God. That's why it is called God. You believe there's a God? But then, if believing in a God will make you become a better man, why don't you just believe in a God first? Then you'll be a better man. And once your wisdom level get higher and higher and higher, then the next step is, oh, the God is not an outside God. The God is in me. I have that God in me. It's not outside. I'm not looking for outside. I'm not saying God outside, who in that top of the mountain, in the top of the mountain, God, give me wealth, give me health, give me everything. There must be a problem if you do that. And then if your wisdom level goes up, then you say, oh, there's no God. Actually, the God is in me. I can look for fame, reputation, and money using my own mentality. Then you're a little higher level. Because you don't depend on something external, you know that you have to work it out yourself. You have to work hard. If you're lazy, you think God can give you everything? Now you're enlightened, your wisdom level go higher. You know, I don't believe in that God because that God make me lazy. I want to believe that I have that God in me. I'm a positive thinker. Then I strike towards more, I struggle more. Then my wisdom level increased. And then as time goes on, you say, yeah, I make all the money. Once I make all the money, how do I make it? I'm stepping on other people to make the money. I'm killing animals to make the money. I'm in a fur trade. I'm opening up a casino, which would make a lot of people suffer, but I gain the money. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I'm creating all this karma. Then your wisdom level goes up higher. So you're in a process of increasing your wisdom continuously. But even at that stage, a lot of people can't even arrive at that stage. They will continue be involved with karmic energy. They don't even realize that they are wrong. So we need Buddhism. That's why this is called Buddhism. Then when you're enlightened, you don't need Buddhism. That's why this is called Buddhism. You understand what I mean? Sometimes when I see people's perplexed face, I don't know what I mean either. Yeah. Okay, next question. Can you tell us more about the retreat on May 20 and the 22nd? The retreat is a meditation retreat. We will have an hourly program. So from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, for example, a morning lesson, and then you have a recess, and then you have lunchtime, then you have chanting, you have lecturing. It's a whole series of, it's an X factor of Buddhism. It's called this way. You have a camp. You're going to an X factor camp, but that's not of singing and dancing. An X factor of Buddhism. Have you been to an X factor? I haven't been. But in our cases, there's no competition like that. You're competing for yourself internally. You want to achieve at a certain stage of wisdom. You want to get more wisdom. You will be given a timetable for the 3 days and will follow the timetables. You can only eat 2 meals per day. Don't bring any cookies and put it in your pillows. And you're not allowed, to get a bite out of it, because then you're breaking the precepts. You only can take 2 meals. And And in some cases, you may not allow even to talk. You cannot chit-chat. All your phones will be taken away from you. No more email, cell phones, no more of those. Lack of communication with the outside world, in which it will confuse you. It will confuse you. So your daily pattern of living, it would not be the same as the daily pattern of living during the retreat. It's something different. If you want to look for something similar, don't come. If you want something similar to just like daily life, don't come. It's not the same. It's a practice of peacefulness. Yes, you want to raise your hands. Yes. If you have medical issues, then you have to bring your medication. But if you have medical issues that you have to eat something at night time, it really depends on whether it is real truth or not. Sometimes you may be just cheating yourself. Yeah, my lung is not that good, so I used to be taking 3 meals, and now you want me to take 2. Yeah, well, medically, I know that I need 1 more meal. So if that's the case, you cannot come because you're cheating yourself. You think that you need that 1 extra. Oh, it depends on what you're eating. Oh, cookies and every oh, you mean a diabetic? Then you need every hour eating.
They must have it every day like that.
Oh.
Medical condition. There's no option.
So in that case, that becomes not your food, delicious food. That becomes your medicine. Yeah. Then I think that would be allowable because that is actually a medicine to you instead of a nice sweet treat that you really attach to. So I guess that would be okay. Yeah. But you can't say every 2 hours. My family is used to greediness. I will be thinking of something about greediness. Then you can't do it like that. Or it is my habitual pattern that I have to call my girlfriend every 2 hours. Then, well, it's my thinking pattern that I have to call my girlfriend every 2 hours because otherwise he will punish me for, then it's not good for you. Yeah. Okay, what does the mantra at the end of the chanting session mean? That is to say, what does Om Mani Padme Hum means? I guess some people here heard me explain Om Mani Padme Hum before. Om Mani Padme Hum, there's a 6 syllables mantra. Simply speaking, what is Om? Om is the creator of all sound, the mother of all sound, the origin of all deeds. Or simply, if you want to put it in a very simple English, is Om, that means listen very carefully. Listen to what I have to say very carefully. Listen. This is extremely important. Om, that's listen. This is extremely important now. This is very simple explanation. Om has a lot of meaning in it. There's 3 sounds that are the prime sounds of the universe. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. There's a lot of energy in those 3 words. Talking about sound, there's the sound is a mystic. There's a mystic connotation in sound. Sound can produce a lot of power. Sound can produce a lot of energy. Sound itself is energy. And more people research into the power of sound. Medically, sound can be ultrasound, where they focus a lot of frequency of the sound into one point and serve as a high density, high concentration sound. We call it ultrasound. Ultrasound can break your gallbladder stones. Ultrasound can get into your body without operation, without cutting your body open. The sound itself can break things inside your body. But that sound is created outside, simply increasing the frequency. And they can use sound concentration to operate in your eyes, to get away that membrane that makes, what do you call that, cataract, right? The cataract operation now is very simple. They did it in, usually the operation is about 20 minutes, they finished it. They just use ultrasound to break it. So you see, the sound is extremely powerful, and they call it vibrational medicine. Medicine researching on vibration, sound vibration, focusing. And talking about that, then you should indirectly have an understanding that if focus is that important of sound, and sound is only crude, when you're talking about frequency, sound is a crude kind of frequency. It's not a very refined kind of frequency. It's like light. Light is another kind of frequency. Sound is another kind of frequency. But let us believe, of course, science still have to prove it. Consciousness is much finer than sound and light. It has more power. Are you not going to be interested in focusing your power to do the most meaningful thing? So you're involved in meditation. You have been very lucky because you know that consciousness has power. You only venture into it. That's the reason why you're coming here. For those who don't really care, they don't know what consciousness is all about. Now you know. You know that consciousness is very powerful. It's even much more powerful than sound and light. Why did I talk about sound anyway? Yeah, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. The three very important prime sounds of the universe. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om is the origin of all sound. Listen very carefully what I have to say. Om Mani, what is Mani? Mani is a Sanskrit, it means the most precious jewel, the most precious thing on earth. It is a simile. In a language, we usually use simile or metaphor to describe something that we cannot normally use one word to describe. Usually you use simile to describe it. As bright as the sun. So you use the sun to describe brightness. As beautiful as a rose. You use rose to describe beauty. But then it's still not enough. Just that word beauty. The word beauty, you could use millions of words. You still don't get that right. Or even a sound. Certain kind of sound, you think that is a rattling sound, that is what kind of sound, you simply cannot find the right language for it. So that's the reason why they want to use simile to describe something. Mani is a simile to describe value. Value is difficult to describe. You cannot attach $1 million to it. Any valuables that can be bought with money is actually not valuable. Anything that is beyond the power of money is more powerful than what you can be bought with money. Can you buy your life with money? You say, I'm going to die, but I have 100,000 billions. Can I use 100,000 billions to buy my life? So are you saying 100 billion is more valuable than my life? The highest value cannot be denominated with a monetary unit onto it. So money is what? It's a simile for the most valuable thing on earth. Use money. What is that money? Money, that means what is the most precious in you? Not the $100 million. What's the most precious in you? Do you know about it? Some people say, I have no value. That's the reason why I suffer from depression. I have no value. I don't recognize my value. I'm useless. I'm just a no good Joe Blow. That's why he's suffering from depression. He couldn't realize his own value. Everyone is valuable. Everyone will become a Buddha. Everyone has that nature to become a Buddha. But now, you don't know about it. That pearl is hidden in the heaps of garbage. It's all covered with dirt. That money is the most precious Buddha nature in you. When you become enlightened, that would one shining pearl of the universe, every one of you would be, there's a Mani in you. There's Om Mani. Padme. What is that Padme? Padme. Padme is a Sanskrit word. Padme. It means what? Lotus. A simile, lotus. What is the most pure on earth? We use lotus to describe it. The purest on earth is not scrubbing all the dirt off your skin and you are the purest person. You're not pure inside. You're only pure on your skin. Or you're applying your lotion on it. You are so pure, you're so clean, you're spotless, you're without germs on your skin. But inside it's all dirt. Nothing in the world is pure. Because purity does not start with appearance. Purity does not start with elements, protons, electrons, and neutrons. Purity starts with consciousness. Is your consciousness pure? You don't say, today I'm pure, I've taken a bath, I'm used to take 3 baths per day, I'm absolutely pure. If I go into a room, I have no germs around me, but you've got a lot of germs inside. Not to say the germs in your consciousness, that cannot be detected. So what do you want? As far as appearance is concerned, you may be pure, but then you're not pure inside. Why do they use the Padme? Padme is a lotus flower that's grown from the mud. And all your senses, the flower itself is grown from the mud, but it sense so pure of the mud. It's not in the mud. It's outside the mud. What are these mud? When your 6 organs attach to externalities, when your internalities attach to externalities, then your consciousness becomes impure. Your eyes attached to appearance, your ears attached to sound, your nose attached to smell, your tongue attached to fragrance, your body attached to enjoyment of luxuries, your mentality attaches to greediness, hatred, mental afflictions, depressions. Nothing is pure in us. You have to be pure like a lotus flowers. But it's easy to talk about it. How do you practice purity? Learn from the lotus. Get out of it. Get out of the mud. You can't be in the mud. Your consciousness, your thinking must be out from your habitual thinking of greediness, hatred, and all that. You have to learn how to purify your senses first. That's the first step. Have you purified your senses? You ask yourself, have you purified your senses? You haven't. Otherwise, you'll be a Buddha already. Your eyes attached to appearances. This guy is good, this guy is no good. I like this man, I dislike this man. I hate him, I'm angry at this. All the time you're passing judgment on what your senses are interacting with. All this time you're making commentary on everything based on your own bigotry, your own ideas of purity. So the Buddha said, no, you have to learn how to be detached from the world. And that is using the simile of Padme. Because if you want to discover the value in you, matni, the true value in you, you must be learned like the lotus flowers, getting out from all this impurity. And then the last word is home. Home is a Sanskrit word. It means a bodhi seat, bija. Every time when you utter that, a bodhi seat, a seat of enlightenment, is planted in your consciousness. Because every time when you utter that, you're reminding yourself that I have the Buddha nature, I have that value, I have to learn how to get that value out of me. Every time when you chant about this, a seed is already planted in your consciousness, telling you what to do. What you would do in this life, today, tomorrow, does not matter. The seed is there, waiting for you to fertilize it, waiting for you to water it, waiting for the sunlight to shine on it. And once you have all these causes put together, it sprouts. Have you made it sprout already? Or there's still a seed? You know. Is it that seed in you still a seed? Or it is sprouting, sprouting, sprouting? You make it happen. Who is watering it? You. Who is putting fertilizers in it? You. Who is directing and putting it under the sun? You. Not God. Not God. It's you. You are the God. Have you done what a God should do? So if you always repeat on this word, you're reminding yourself, listen, I have that matni in me, which is my Buddha nature. I have to learn how to get rid of all my impurities like a lotus flowers. And if I do this all the time, persistently, not just a seed is planted in me, I will be growing and growing and growing in my enlightenment, in my wisdom. Okay, enough. Next, last questions. With the artificial intelligence advancing to learn, will they be able to go to Pure Land if it chants Amitabha? Artificial intelligence, does that mean the machine? Huh? I don't understand. If you mean if you switch on the machine, I don't understand actually the question. Can you clarify? Huh? A robot? You mean a robot with the robot advancing to learn? Oh, if a robot is learning, you want the robot to go to the Pure Land? You don't need the robot when you go to the Pure Land. Are you in love with your own robot? I think it's more practice to get your girlfriend to go instead of getting a robot to go. Or getting your parents to go better than a robot. A robot is made by you. Why don't you build another one in there? You say, I am not going to take my robot because there's no way I can take it, but I'm going to build a robot in there. Actually, when you are in the Pure Land and you practice to a certain level, then you can. If I want a robot, which is a very intelligent robot, to be created, so that robot will sound out Amitabha. That robot will teach Buddhism. That robot will tell people how to be better. Then in the future, I'm going to grow a robot like that. Then you may be able to be successful in doing that. Maybe that will come true. Then you don't need me or anybody talking about Buddhism. That robot will say, that robot will know what you think and will just satisfy your needs. But why do you want a robot to go to the Pure Land? The robot itself has no consciousness. It's a created consciousness. Its consciousness is created by you, by humans. You just attach that intelligence to the robot. It has no EQ in it. A robot has an EQ? Maybe you can construct a robot to have EQ, other than IQ, and AQ, and AQ too. Artificial intelligence, AQ, intelligence.